privilege to announce the Vodacom Bull side against Munster. Number 1, Gerard Steenenkamp. 2, Johan Grobler. 3, Francois Klopper. 4, Roan Vermaak. 5, Roan Norke. 6, and Captain Marcel Coetzee. 7, Elrich Lou. 8, Nazam Kar. 9, Embrose Papier. 10, André Pollard. 11, Kurtley Arendse. 12, Harold Foster. 13, Stedman Gans. 14, Kane Moody. 15, Willie Leroux. 16, Marco van Staden. 17, Jan-Hendrik Wessels. 18, Kuta Mchunu. 19, Kobus Wiese. 20, Cameron Hannekom. 21, Zak Burger. 22, Jeswell Jooste. 23, David Kriel.
Questions?
Because obviously the shift for Stedman to outside centre, obviously to accommodate Harold, but what's the full sort of thing?
Yeah, there's a few reasons. The one is that Harold played well before he got the concussion, so he obviously deserved his position. We also feel that Stedman played well, and it does give us the option to play 13, and then Kainan is obviously one of the world's best wingers as well as 13. He proved himself, so he just shifts out. Cheswell is still in his process of learning and developing, so it's a massive game for us before we go on tour. So we just felt it gives us a little bit more experience and a little bit more stability, and then obviously Cheswell can come on with his X factor and speed, and hopefully we can get him into space to lift the tempo. So that's the main reasons why we can, and then obviously there's 1 or 2 tactical reasons as well.
Billy and David.
David give us the option of covering 12, 13 and 15, so Willie can really go well there at 15, and then obviously if he needs to play 10, then he can play 10, but David just give us the option to see how Stedman and Harold goes from a physical point of view. From it's going to be 2 o'clock hot afternoon, and if needed he can go at centre. So we feel if he plays 15 and covering centre, with Harold who hasn't played, it just gives us that then he has to play 80 minutes. Now we can actually choose where he wants to go on, and then obviously the only position that we will doesn't have a choice, either Willie or Andre must go 80. That's the only thing, the player position that we can't replace somebody.
As mens kyk na jou beginspan die afgelope paar weke, daar was baie ouens wat in en uitgekom het, maar daar's ook iemand soos Marcel wat 6 speel, Elrich, Andre. Is jy tevrede met die balans tussen kontinuïteit in die beginspan te hê en om ook spelers vas te hou?
Ja, ek dink so. Ek dink ons het hier en daar die losies maak het moeilik. Jy weet, as jy nou kyk na die span en Jandre, weet is nie eens in die span nie, dan maak dit dan is dit moeilik om dat is maar die moeilike deel van afrigting is om spanne te kies. En hier en daar het ons nou vir Kobus en vir Roan Vermaak bietjie geroteer. Die 9's het nou bietjie geroteer, maar die kern van die span, jy weet, het ons probeer hou waar beserings het nou nie vir op ons afgedwing het nie. Maar die kern van die span het ons probeer hou so naas moontlik as dit ons kan om daai kontinuïteit te kry. Maar die realiteit, weet, jy moet roteer, dink ek, en jy moet ook partykeer baie wat die rotasies veroorsaak is hoe ons wil speel en wat ons op die einde wil hê. En dis nooit perfek nie, die plan kan varieer te hang af hoe die wedstryd gaan, en natuurlik as hopelik kry ou nie beserings wat dit beïnvloed nie, maar ek is regtig gemaklik uit die 23 is dit gewoonlik, is dit nie 'n besering was jy ou of in die span of op die bank wat vir ons baie kontinuïteit gee.
Die Sharks het hulle nie Saterdag en 'n guns bewys om die eerste besoekers so ver te wen nie. En hulle het 'n paar eerste toetsspelers teruggekry, jy weet, wat verwag jy van hulle?
Ek dink hulle gaan natuurlik hoogs gemotiveerd wees, so hulle gaan uitkom, dink ek, met 'n dringendheid en 'n vasberadenheid wat 'n ou verwag, want afgesien van die resultaat in die Sharks, as jy net na hulle geskiedenis kyk wie hulle is, een van die mees bestendigste URC spanne, en ook in Europa. Jy weet, en ek dink so hulle gaan definitief met kom om dit reg te maak, ek wou amper sê om daai teleurstelling reg te maak. So daar gaan nie 'n gebrek aan motivering van hulle kan wees nie. En takties gewys, jy weet, hulle kan die bal verskriklik lank hou, hulle het die vermoë om die bal te skuif na die punte toe, so ons weet dat ons moet goed verdedig, en dan ons verwag ook dat die 9 en die 10 wat obviously nou net toets rugby gespeel het, ook baie takties gaan skop, jy weet, en so ons gaan goed met dit ook moet wees. Maar die realiteit is ons gaan 4-4 moet fight, want hulle gaan gemotiveerd wees.
And we never known you to be so quiet.
I bide my time. You mentioned Tezwell coming on up the tempo, and it's going to be hot. We know it's been hot this week in Pretoria. There's no rain or anything that I can think of. So they're going to suffer. Is that the idea, to run them off the feet and get them buffing towards the end, maybe? And also the 5-3 bench.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you know, like you'll take it. You can always argue about the bench 5-3 and 6 in that heat and what will be the best. But because again, I think the 5-3 with Marco at hooker that can go to back row, Kobus that can go to back row if we need it. We're going to observe the players and see. But I mean, obviously, we must make sure we control the game well and play to a good standard. And then we need to lift the tempos to utilize the altitude and the heat. But the altitude and heat is not going to do it for us if we don't, if we're not accurate and we don't perform. And looking at the quality of players we got on the bench, I think we've got the power on the bench to lift the tempo. But it must just be accurate. It can't be individual based and just nearly balls getting thrown all over. So it has to be, good standards, good principles in place, and a good direction. You also have to assess where the game are, but there's definitely players that can break the game open if we need to.
You mentioned Casey and Crowley coming back and doing a lot of kicking. Is that part of the reason why you're putting Kaden on the wing?
Yeah, I mean, let's not, ignore the fact that Kaden is one of the world's best, if not the best, high ball wingers. So that definitely gives us an opportunity there to combat if they do go that route. So that hopefully that will count in our favour.
And then there's another question I wanted to ask you that slipped my mind now. There's nothing as dangerous as a wounded animal. And we saw that Munster defence coach being sent into the press conference, maybe to teach him a lesson in humility. I don't know why. I mean, are you expecting a fired-up Munster? And what did you do to prepare your side for this kind of a team determined to turn things around? Yeah,
I mean, again, we reflect to the Cardiff game, and we saw we didn't play well in the second half. So there's definitely a lot for us to work on. And we're obviously aware of Munster, desperate and like you say, wounded. But ultimately, if we play really the plan that we want to play, that we prepared well, we execute that well. Our breakdown is good because they contest breakdowns well, and we control the ball better than last week, where we just throw the ball around and missed a lot of opportunities. Hopefully, we can build the pressure on them. They will definitely be much more composed with the internationals coming back. But ultimately, it's we must enforce our game plan and our standards on them, and hopefully, they will make mistakes that will count in our favor. But it's not going to be easy because, like you just said, and the fact that they send a defence coach, it just shows you that, his words was they had a really hard conversations. So that if you conceded 45 points, the defence coach is going to be upset, and then the attack coach will upset that they got 0. So
that is why
So the reality is that I think that was a tough week for them, and it makes them dangerous. But we can just, again, for me, it's about our performance. We can't control what they bring, but we can control our attitude and our way of how we want to play.
Good luck.
Thank you.
as mens kyk vaskopstit met iemand soos Wilke wat nou later die seisoen of aan die einde van die seisoen weggaan. 'n belangrike kans vir Frans sou weer kry in die vaskopkant. Wat is jou boodskap om soos vir hom en John Erasmus en Morne Smith het jy al vir hulle gesê, dis
Nee, hulle weet.
dis hulle te doen om te besluit hoe die rangorde lyk as Wilke eers weg is.
Nee, jy is 100% reg. Weet Kuta, Morney, François en John Erasmus met die mantel oorvat, jy weet, en enige as ons ander vaskoppe in die groep het, hulle met die mantel oorvat. So die realiteit is as jy 'n geleentheid kry, moet jy hom aangryp, jy weet, en ek voel François was goed laasweek, maar hierdie gaan 'n nuwe uitdaging wees. En is nou 'n geleentheid om hy bestendigheid te wys. En ons weet die lewe gaan aangaan na Wilke en dis hoekom ons dis nou hierdie geleentheid en dis maar waaroor rugby gaan. Nog baie spelers wat ek weet het een geleentheid gekry en hulle het legendes geword in SA rugby, of provinsiaal of nasionaal. So rugby baie keer sit jy en jy wag vir jou geleentheid. En as hy deur oopgaan met jy omgryp, so hulle weet, ek het al verskeie gesprekke met hulle gehad, gesê, as Wilke nie speel nie, is dit jou geleentheid om vir ons te wys wat is daar.
Are you getting an international title to replace him? I should ask him. Back.
No, I don't know about that.
No, I'm just messing around. Because obviously with the situation the way it is in the race for the last, 8, the top 8, the brain likes to focus on doing one thing at a time and not juggle too many things. Next weekend it's suddenly Champions Cup again. How would you prefer to have gone? How do you look at the fact that you're going to have to, after this fixture, you're going to have to go off and concentrate on another competition, might go on, play, might not play that other weekend? How do you look at that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of unknowns for us, like you just said, you can only prepare what you know for. So I said to the players, the only thing we can do now is worry about Munster and get that game out of the way. Then we'll focus on the tour, and obviously starting with Glasgow. So we have obviously started to look at Glasgow and kind of putting a plan in place, but we'll put our total focus on that from Sunday onwards. We got other hurdles to overcome, like traveling and recovering and hopefully get well through tomorrow's match from a physical point of view. And then like you say, it changes competition, but it's an exciting prospect. You're in a knockout game and you play one of the best sides in Europe, so we will just take that challenge as it comes. And then I really can't answer you regarding that following week, because there's so many variables. We don't play because we're out of the competition. 2, we play in France, or 3, we play in South Africa against the Stormers. So so we can't really. There's plans in place. If this from a logistical point of view, but from a coaching point of view, get out tomorrow. We've got our plan in place, our traveling schedule, everything is in place for Glasgow, and then from there on we'll adapt. We'll adapt. I'm not worried the week after that. Everything from accommodation to training to gym to our week schedule, everything is already planned for the Dragons and Scarlets. So that will be as normal, but it's just that second week that is a bit grey at the moment. But we don't really want to worry too much about it.
I imagine you would have been pleasantly surprised by how Cameron played when he came on. Has he obviously responded well, recovered well to not having played in 9 months or whatever, and then B, just your feelings about how you went?
Yeah, he recovered well. The good thing is, he had nothing physically that was a problem after the game and either this week. So that shows again, I think the fact that we were patient with his return helped, and the fact that we was fortunate enough that we could stick to the time frame they wanted him to play, and that we was not forced to play him longer. There was obviously a bit of temptation to see differently this week. Can we start him? But again, we feel it's better to rather get him off the bench at the time that we want him to go on than something happening when he's on the field and then he has to stay on the field. So for that reason, he's still going to bring us Israel off the bench. And then looking at it, when he went on, I felt he did the basic stuff really well. He didn't have that much opportunity. Like we know he can get a lot of, space and good runs, but he scored the try when he needed to at the back of the scrum. He made a turnover. He made a few big hits, and he was actively good body language, just actively involved in the game. So very pleased, and I just think he's going to get better and better.